Hello, my fellow Crusaders. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, The Darkest Ages. Episode 15, Lifting the Gloom from the Land. Oh, okay, you brought 8 wood. Good job. Fantastic at math. Don't stand there. Fortifying, thank you for the gift of subs as well. Alright, so this Noctilith is technically in, but is still just like bashing walls. Got it. Oh god. Okay, it's coming fast. Get out of the shadow, you little jerk. Alright, Medic. You disappoint me in your counting to 20. Thought you had all 10 fingers and toes. Alright, at this point, we are now... I'm not going to bother with that. We have holes in the base. Actually, you know what? I am going to bother with that. I think we probably want to patch up the holes in the base before we go Noctilith hunting. And that keeps anyone that is wounded, like Ginger and McGee, a little bit safer here at base. So, this hole is the only hole in the base at the moment. Because these holes didn't make it all the way through. Anyone missing limbs and parts? Yeah. They are. Ooh, 3 trips to make 1 torch. Man, that's a new world record. Well done. Still a hole in the north wall too? Yes. I had queued up that to be patched, and Maddox's getting that now. Okay. We need to make a path to the last Noctilith. Well, you guys wanted the Darkest Ages, and it doesn't really get much darker than this. Fog of War plus unnatural darkness, surrounded by Noctilith breaking the walls. This is peak Noctilith. I'm going to have Ginger preach health to McGee to try to get McGee up into fighting form sooner than later. Because, you know, the more shooters, the merrier. And then Klein, if you're already working, let's have you make this torch. We're down to about 200 wood. Where are you walking for wood? Where are you going? He was heading up here to collect wood for a torch down here. How does that make sense? Alright. The wood shelves here are going to be set to important because I've come to realize there's something more critical than critical. And what I'm going to do is move a stack of wood over here. Hopefully. Yep, okay, that worked. Yeah, I was about... Oh, Matic got in the darkness? Yes, you should be zone restricted. At least you only got bruised. Is he... Yeah, okay. The zoning is correct now. Noctul's attack. Oh boy. Klein, it's time for you to hustle. At least the Noctuls will be slowed by the torch. So in Torchlight, they move at 4. Outside of Torchlight, they move at like 8. Please don't friendly fire. Oh, hello. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting them from the north. I think there's still one. Yeah, there's still one up north. God, that scared me. Just flying at me a million miles an hour. Alright, get out of the water. We need more Kleins. I could not agree anymore. Yes, I could definitely use more Kleins. Right, so there's still another Noctul threat. I don't even know where they are. They are attacking my torches, I'm gonna guess. I'd like to clear the threat before building more of the light path. No, they went east. No, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Beat of their own drum. Okay. The immediate threat is over. I'm gonna give my people a little R&R. Because I'm sure they're... Well, actually, Maddox's pretty happy. Maddox, you will be building the final torch down at the last Noctolith. And Klein's back on some restrict. He needs some rest. McGee, how's that leg healing? It's pretty good. You only have 5 points left to do. Okay. The southern Noctolith is all lit up. Fantastic. Let's go for it. There's no sense in waiting. So Ginger's gonna hold down the base. And we're gonna rally to the north the south Noctolith. The other thing I'm gonna want to do is to not refill the torches anymore. The light is about to get fixed. Or the darkness, I should say. It's about to get fixed, and I don't want to refuel these, wasting wood. Because... And then at some point, like, I'll break them down. I don't really care what happens to them. If, like, they get destroyed, that's fine. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand intentionally in the water for this fight, because the Noctals are going to have a harder time wading in the water to come after me when they erupt and try to murder me. Is it worth keeping the torches to refill? No, it isn't. Oh, great. They're spawning in the water. Because you have no idea where the Noctiliths are going... You don't know where the pillars are going to form, so there's no point in having, like, torches for nothing. I think, no, you are nimble. Okay, so if anyone's gonna brawl, it should be a Valka, if it's not Klein. Darkness is lifting. Woo! All right. We've got the sun coming back. Our priority is build more defenses. Well, not everyone survived. You can say everyone survived, but that, strictly speaking, would not be true. Oh, yeah, there's a Noctil out here. It's midnight right now, so even though we don't have a natural darkness, the Noctil still benefits from the dim light level of actual nighttime, so we still have to be careful of Noctils. Okay, I think we're in the clear now. And all of the needed replaced walls have been queued. Oh boy, alright. That was, that's a bit of a trip. I have 2 wood. Nice. Ginger. I am going to extend the island zone out here. It's a little risky, but I need to take some risks. I can't be completely risk adverse. I just don't have the, I don't have the luxury of being super risk adverse. There are some shards that we ought to collect. I will be working towards that. And then I think I am also going to trigger a high party hall for literally everyone other than Medic. Medic being the tailor / constructor will continue tailoring and constructing. Because we need to go collect wood. Right now, we used like all 400 in the defense against the Noctils and the Noctilith. If we take a look at our known anomalies, we have now phased to Noctilith, Noctils, Metal Horrors, Gore Hulks, Sight Stealers, and Shamblers. Oh yeah. And we have studied none of them. I really haven't had the luxury of being able to study them because we're too busy like trying to defend for our lives the scientific pursuit of entity research is just not in the cards at the moment. Maybe the next project, but until I actually have some active defenses, that's just not going to happen. The other thing is all the torches that we have out there, now that the unnatural light is been defeated, the torches are just going to burn out, like, nearly immediately. Because water douses torches and campfires and everything else that's lit. A high priority haul, unfortunately, means that we're just, like, hauling noctils to corpse disposal, but, like, that's fine, whatever. No research, we live in the middle of the Dark Ages? Yeah, that's certainly one way of looking at it. Alright, the last of the barbecues that are over there need steel. So I'm also going to start coring up the steel. Let's leave these corpses up here. I don't care about them. But take the shard. So I'll forbid the noctil corpses. The bioferrite, we're definitely going to want to collect. But we don't need to do, like, corpse cleanup for every noctil everywhere. Better yet is, what I could try to do is have a cremate corpse zone. That covers, maybe have another crematorium somewhere in the south, and just, like, cremate the corpses that are close by, so that we don't bother to haul things from super far away. I'm gonna get rid of the torches that have burned out. I mean, realistically, all torches that I built for this purpose are gone, and because I don't want, like, my entire map covered in weird torch markers, I'll just go to the effort of deleting them at some point. Getting those corpses to decay faster is a good way in case of a death pall res event. Yes. True. Is the unnatural darkness a weather event? Yes. Which means it can't rain during it. It supersedes weather events. Kind of like if you accept a quest that forces weather. So that's like one of the dangers. If you have a forced wind or a forced fog that is not a foggy rain, and then you have a fire on your map tile, there can't be rain to put out the fire the way it normally would happen. So a forced fog event is actually a rather dangerous event as a result, because it can cause massive wildfires, burning down everything. Now that all the noctils have been hauled, we are starting to collect wood to refill our diminishing stockpile. This rain will help our crops ripen before the winter frost, so that's a big advantage. It also looks like we just got a huge process of salted meat. If I want to do some hunting, I'm probably going to do group hunting. There's nothing easy to hunt here that can't have a revenge chance. So going after either muffalo or bison maybe is the most logical. Will Force Fog prevent those dark events? Yeah, I think probably it would. I don't know for certain in the code, but you probably won't get an unnatural darkness if you have a forced weather event on your map tile. I'd imagine. But don't quote me, I'm not certain. Given that it is raining, now would be a good time as ever to go after Boomalope. Our fruit stocks look pretty good, and it is likely, unless another blight hits us, that we'll have a lot of corn by season's end. So I'm not too worried about our food. And our wood's climbing back up to a more comfortable amount. Given that it is the first of autumn, I think what I'll do is I'll stop refueling one of the passive coolers in here and one of the passive coolers in here, trying to conserve wood. Who is starving? Why are we starving? We're starving because nobody's been making food because of the forest hall. Yep. I'll fix that. We're fine. Work frenzy. Yeah, I starved her into a work frenzy. See? As it was planned. So for these wall-mounted defenses, we need steel, steel, and steel. So coring up resources from our quarry is going to be the answer for that. Now that I'm up to 700 wood, I'm going to reduce the high party hall so that we can do other things. We also have a weaponsmith. So the last weaponsmith that came in got ambushed by a Tyrall. We don't have Tyralls right now. In fact, we don't have any predators that are likely to go after humans. Lynxes are not likely to go after people. So I think this weaponsmith is actually going to make it to us for, like, once. I'd also mentioned wanting to do a group hunt. So I think what I'll do is, once more of my bowmen are up, I'll do a group hunt on the southwest Megasloth and rhinos. Ginger should be the best trade person. Well, actually, let's check. Trade price improvement is about a 9 for her. 0, 3, 6, 7.5, 6. Yep. Ginger's the best. They brought in... Wait, what animal is that? A snow troll. Okay. That's sketchy as hell. But, you know, whatever. Just bring in super monsters into my colony. It's par for the course. I don't... Ooh. How good is this weapon? Not very. Never mind. It's a little sketchy, but I think I'm actually going to part with all our pemmican for the sake of silver. And they told me about some point of interest. Don't really care. Ooh, there was some flirting in the air. Mickey and Ginger made an observation about romance. Ginger ignored the advance. I mean, yeah, okay. It's got other things in her mind. I get it. All right, all of the torches have been removed. Good. We are building the defenses for that corner. Perfect. These fields are very well fertilized at this point. So we're almost, I would say, half done with the defenses. I don't think it's in the cards to build this 5th bridge. I'm just going to remove it. What we could do instead is something like this. A wooden bridge that just connects like this so that we can run more easily from north to south along the coast. But I don't really need another bridge, because another bridge means more defenses to lay out, which is just more labor for us to invest in. The other thing we could do is to get the steel that's in the mountain, rather than... actually, this steel might be a little easier to get. Rather than quarry it up. Because we are being bottlenecked by steel, and I think it makes sense to just push for a lot of steel right now outside of the quarry, so that we can build the other RBQs on the other entry points. That's a good amount of wood ready. So let's stop all the other tree cut designations. Ooh, and we are working on dusters. Fantastic. Alright, if we go to security, let's continue the defense layout. It also means we're going to need more granite. I think I'll put the door here. No, here. Some more granite, huh? Actually, really don't need more granite. I don't know what I was talking about. I have 750 of it. Hey, Rhadamant Ammo, thank you for the sub. And welcome. I hope the next character raffle benefits you. So good luck in that. Hope we get more people joining, because we have lots of loss. And some of it, like all 4 deaths, have been fairly tragic. Friendly fire, death by wild animals, and death by, like, succumbing to compounded conditions. That hasn't been, like, a normal death. Like, you just got killed in combat. It's been a more tragic deaths. Yeah. There's not much to do about those. I'm just victim of consequence. We should strive for better deaths. Yeah, I could also consider... If we wanted to consider other people to become brawlers, Avalka could. But only Avalka. I'd be a little worried, given how good she is at shooting, to transition her into a brawler role. Because she is trigger happy. So I wouldn't really want to do that for her. All this time being a YouTube watcher, turns out you could have watched me on stream. Yeah, I put my schedule up everywhere. I try to make it really easy to figure out when I'm live, where I'm live, etc., etc. But of course, it's not up to me whether people actually follow through with that. I don't mind. However people want to watch, it's fine by me. It sounds spooky outside. There we go. That will be the layout for the southeast. Same sort of scheme. I mean, it's certainly not symmetrical, but the same concept of the twisted path to break line of sight with a uranium door, because they're inflammable, open quickly, and yeah. That should do. We have a lot of room for meat in the meat racks. So we might want to do more group hunting. I'm trying to get the defenses up, which is why I'm not pulling them away from group hunting. We need more cannon fodder. I don't know how I don't think these guys would like to be considered cannon fodder. But I also don't disagree with you. So chem fuel, steel, chem fuel, steel. So lots of steel required. I'm going to raise the mining priorities of both Klein and Matic up so that they'll mine out the steel. And I don't know how long this will last, but there's like a brief respite. Maybe the game's is like, yeah, we sort of threw noctals at you and you are medieval, so we'll chill for a minute. And let's take advantage of that chill. Try to get as many resources from beyond the walls as we can. What kind of pathing was that, Klein? He like walked out here and instead of, well, I guess I don't, this isn't paved, so fair play. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is the kind of steel we needed. And the cotton is close to being harvestable, and that should help with winter clothing, maybe. I think the clothing we probably want for the winter is honestly parkas to keep the shooting caps on, because the shooting caps allows us to fire more quickly, and so parkas and the caps is probably the best combination of the two. That needs 73 steel, and this needs 80 steel. So yeah, it's just a steel bottleneck. And then the last layout will be out here. Now I haven't really fully been able to use these defenses, so I'm really hoping. Well, I'm not hoping for a raid. I'm hoping for a bit more peace, so I can make more progress on other projects. But if we do get raided, hopefully we can actually put these defenses to use, because against noctals, it wasn't all that helpful. Against sight stealers is not all that helpful. At some point, we might be able to detect the sight stealers before they jump us with proximity, like medieval level proximity detectors. But we'll see. Is there a valid path into the base currently in case of raiders? There isn't, but to that end, there almost doesn't even need to be because they don't care. I mentioned this at the start of the stream, and I suppose you might have missed it, but okay. We're allied. Okay, that's funny. We're allied with a temporary faction. I was trying to figure out, I was like, who the hell are these? It's because they share our ideology, and anyone that shares our ideology is going to be like an ally. As a result of both follow the Justicar Creed plus 75. So I was like, who the hell are they, and what's going on? But yeah, it was just a temporary faction for like a hunting site. And they were like, oh, we're allied, by the way. This one will be a little bit different. The reason why I have the doors that we flee into really close to the barbecues is so that we can get to cover quickly. But in this section of the castle, the beach front is further out. So this one is going to be a little bit more different than the others. where the where I will all right, we have the wooden door there. The uranium door will go here. And then in this spot, we can have sort of like a gatehouse of sorts. Something along those lines is fun. I think the home zones are good so far. Okay. A question for you guys. What to build next? I could build a workshop. I could build proper heavy bridges rather than these wooden ones that can burn down. I could continue improving my defenses. What I would likely do in that case is probably use spike traps. Some sort of like fallback to spike trap defense. A brewery, holding cells, a better science laboratory, because right now it's just kind of like a bedroom, an alchemy lab, guest lodging, a tomb, or a proper ritual room. Choice is yours. I'll give you 5 minutes to vote in that, because I don't think I'm going to be finishing the defenses quite yet. It's going to take a minute. There is just not a lot of huntable wildlife. Okay, I am going to do a group hunt here. I just am continually not offered, like, easy hunting. And we're gonna want some more meat for the winter. And moving around in the snow is gonna suck, so let's do some hunting. I'm gonna go for muffalo over bison. So it looks like there's fewer muffalo to get pissed at me if I shoot them. Liked how this muffalo was just like, I'm gonna go into the water. Yeah, that's not gonna protect you from the arrows, friend, but alright. Sure. The bears are huntable? Bears? What bears? Are you manhunted? No. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld The Darkest Ages, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that watched all the way to the credits. So thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode for an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow knights.